Mr. Krishna Teja, an ardent believer of Mahatma Gandhi's principles, is known for his risk-taking abilities, legal knowledge and communication skills. When it comes to the nation and its unity, he is always selfless.
Believe in one's own self, act according to one's own consciousness.
His political legacy and early foray into active politics has not been easy, but the fact is that he has faced many ups and downs throughout his life and career. Mr. Krishna Teja has a master's law degree as well as a master's degree in human resource management. He is a bronze medalist at the national level in boxing in 2013. Mr. Krishna Teja was a key figure in Land Acquisition Amendment Acts that were recognized by Indian courts and political circles across the country. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Krishna Teja in Success Stories. Hello and welcome to PMC English. I'm Idris and today we are in conversation with one of the dynamic and young leader from Telangana state. He is currently working for an international company and at the same time he's an official spokesperson for Congress Party of India. A very warm welcome to our show, Mr. Krishna Teja.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on board in our program.
I wish the PMC for giving me this opportunity. A warm thank you.
Thank you so much. So we will begin with your journey. Like, how did your political journey start?
See, my political journey started in 2008 during the tenure of late YSR while he was a chief minister. Actually, going more precise, actually I hail from political family. Then later I had a close family relation with late YSR. Then when I was studying in Nalsar, I generally had a strong legal background with this subject and other things. Slowly the late YSR, while the second time he has got the chief ministership, he has encouraged me a lot as a student leader, and that made me a platform in the political circle. Right. And in my professional circle, my whereabouts started from my childhood, because basically I hail from a well reputed and a well professional background. Okay, my family background where my father and my mother both are in a very prestigious positions. Right. And apart from the political and what the so-called professional, I hold a good PR. That is the reason today I am in this predominant position in the corporate industry and in the political industry, in the political jargon also.
Right, wonderful. Really, you have put it in nice, sharp and keywords, and everything is very well understood. Now, coming to the current politics, particularly we'll talk about the national front, of course, and we'll come to the state front later. Where do you see this politics going? Is it in the right path? Is it in the path of the spirituality? Is it in the right path in morality? Do you believe that there's a need for change in this political system?
Definitely. First, let me speak about spirituality, because you were speaking of spirituality. Spirituality is something which in lay terminology we say, believe in one's own self, act according to one's own consciousness. Right. That is what I believe. And moreover, you asked me a question, is spirituality necessary in the Indian political system? Right. See, what is Indian political system? It's just a small 0.01% of the population who are elected by the people to rule them. And they are literally in hundreds. That is the reason I can say. This is the Indian political system. The Indian political system needs spirituality. I encourage spirituality which is accepted by all the religions, not spirituality which is communalized. Suppose a brief example of that is, just while I was aspiring and I was preparing for civils, okay, I was very well versed in this Ramakrishna missions and other things. The spirituality which I learned over there is the sayings of Ramakrishna, we saw Vivekananda over there. He was just saying, believe in yourself, be positive and act according to your consciousness and go be optimistic. These were his sayings which impressed me a lot. In the sense, these are acceptable to all the religions as a human. In the sense, first, everyone accepts the so-called being positivity, everyone accepts the so-called meditation, everyone accepts the so-called acting according to their inner self-consciousness, acting according to rational, and everyone even encourages a spirit of scientific temper, which is very well inculcated in our Indian constitution also. Right. So, I always believe in certain scientifically proven spirituality. Right. Like what I have said right now, rather than certain people gone for on communal lines by utilizing spirituality only for their ulterior motives, which is not encourageable in the long run as a statesman for them, and in the short run even as a humans also, if we start communalizing the spirituality, ultimately the spirituality will get into vain and our life also will be meaningless.
Very true, very well said. And you believe in true spirituality in all senses, which believes in oneness of humanity.
Yes.
Compassion, love and care. Right. Now we'll talk about the party you belong to, that is Congress Party of India. It's a history, I would say. We cannot call it just a party, it's a history. Definitely, since freedom fight, Congress Party has been into picture, and there's a lot dedication and I would say sacrifices given by the party. What are the reasons that this party has not been doing well?
See, rather than getting into the reasons, okay, very elaborately, which every day you see some of the other leader coming openly and saying, I say the Congress historically, though it has ups and downs, present what is the Congress party matters to me. Because the Congress present also, let me be very frank on to the question which you are saying, so that even that makes some purpose. The Congress present also needs introspection. That is what the Congress is doing. That is what the so-called AICC Vice President Mr. Rahul Gandhi also is doing. The reason I am saying present the Congress is introspection is, always speaking of past, the present generation, we are in a generation of 21st century, which encourages competition. Now in the present generation, I was reading an article 2 days prior, nearly 80+% of the population are nearly literates. And out of that, you are seeing nearly about 20% of the population are white collared employees. So that is the reason I am saying, let us retrospect, mold our constitution of the party, mold ourselves according to the changing trends. You might ask me, what are those changing trends, what the party needs to mold? This is the question which comes not only from you, even from everyone. The straight befitting reply to is, the party needs to be more active on the technological front, because hitherto the party, though it was a historical party, it always believes in the big stalwarts, it always believes in the traditional culture. Now the party's stand should be molded in a technological way. And moreover, what another introspection the party needs to do is, the party needs to give a sort of responsibility to every grassroots level worker, which the present AICC level Vice President Mr. Rahul Gandhi is doing very openly and in a very planned manner. See, address, as I always believe in one thing, there is always a decadal gap between our generation and the prior generation. Tomorrow down the line, that would be the same case when we get older also. See, the Congress party has stalwarts, but the stalwarts are not coming into limelight and they are starting to lose their pitch, in the sense due to the decadal gap, which they are not able to catch the pulse of the people.
Right.
Now, to catch the pulse of the people, we should mold according to situation and we should act according to the environmental circumstances. So that is what the Congress President Mr. Rahul Gandhi has started doing slowly without hurting the sentiments of anyone, by making certain things mandatory, in the sense right now the AICC organization elections are going on. He inaugurated a pilot project in Telangana where the membership drive of Telangana got completely digitalized, so that he is making certain things mandatory, where the seniors also will be inculcated a technological pinch into their blood. Slowly they will also start molding themselves according to the situation, and they have an inclination towards the changing trend, is my straight answer to your question.
Well, I really appreciate you accepting the fact that there's a generation gap, and I would say technological gap too. Congress party, where we have senior leaders, they are not able to cope up with, or maybe they are not ready to understand, or not able to understand the technology, the importance of technology, the social media. This is what I believe that you mean to say, right?
See, address, I want to add a point to this. Actually, there was some interruption. The senior leaders are always the stewardship. They have to always drive the vehicle. Without a driver, a vehicle cannot go forward.
Absolutely.
In the meanwhile, without seniors, a party cannot go forward. In the meanwhile, the juniors, they have to be with the party. Only then the party's sustenance will be there. There are certain section of the junior category who are literally being misutilized by certain section of the people to create a confusion within the party. See, every senior leader is loyal to the party as an whole, because the ideology is inculcated in his blood and in his mind. The thing is, when the juniors start literally seeing the seniors on a suspicious limelight, then only sort of differences come up. That is what we are saying. Let it be on the national front or on the regional front. Let me be factual and let me admit what exactly is the ground reality here and what introspection we need to do. That is what my answer is.
You have wonderfully explained it. Definitely, the way you see the things, it's really appreciable, I would say. Now, if we talk about spirituality and Indian National Congress, is spirituality inculcated in this party? If yes, how? If no, why not?
See, I have just answered your question. Is spirituality essential for the Indian political system as a whole? What I told, a spirituality which is acceptable to all and which is in line with our democratic principles, that is the so-called secularism, I believe in and the party believes in. This is my straight answer to your question, rather than just giving some examples and just diverting your topic.
So you mean to say the main belief of Congress is secularism, wherein everybody is included?
Let me give you a live example.
Yeah.
See, meditation is always acceptable, as I said, and the spirit of scientific temper, which our constitution makers have very well inculcated in the constitution, it is very well acceptable and it is a fundamental right. Nobody can question it. Such things are always acceptable. We always encourage. The thing is, see, sir, when after seeing some people politicizing the spirituality, I don't want to comment on it. That is the reason I said a spirituality which is acceptable by all religions as a human as such, we generally encourage such things. Not only accepting, not only following, we even go with the people in such ways.
Lovely, that's really appreciable. Now coming to the next point, if we talk about few elections of past and the upcoming elections, we'll talk about Bengal election. Why didn't Congress, actively participate, or I would say there wasn't much presence in West Bengal, even though you had a great chance to go ahead and get some seats or increase the vote share? Why didn't your party actually participate lively over there?
It's a good question, Idris. Regarding Bengal, I have said in multiple other debates. Right now, I'm also saying Bengal, we never expected a victory over there. In the meanwhile, our strategy was molded. It was not a traditional strategy. If you observe, we just made to see that there is a tough fight between Didi and BJP, because BJP has kept every available effort over there, from the Prime Minister to the booth level worker. They are focused on Bengal. We, after seeing the ground reality over there, we didn't want to split the anti-incumbency vote of TMC. In the meanwhile, we didn't want to literally say encourage defections also. That is the reason we just focused on our seat share, on certain segment of the seats. We just saw that our cadre literally works for the party and sees that the party is in limelight. That is the reason you have seen no particular stalwart of the Congress nor the Congress local leadership over there also taking the election very challenging, because we didn't want to split. Because as an opposition, our primary target is the nation. We want opposition faces in the parliament. Let it be in the parliament if it's in the national level, or on the regional level, let it be in the Lok Sabha, let it be the legislative assembly also, no matter what. But only when the opposition state is there, India is there, because first we are all Indians, later we all belong to different political parties, different ideologies. When there is an oppositional voice, obviously the ruling parties will start behaving and according to the pulse of the people. That was our primary motive. We didn't give a battle on Bengal. That is what is my clear answer to this also.
Right. So you mean to say that at times Congress is ready to be in opposition to serve the nation. Is that the point?
Definitely. See, as I said you right now, a couple of minutes ago, without a driver, a vehicle cannot move forward. In the meanwhile, the Congress, as you said, is a historical party, created histories. Now, when it comes to the national level, there are two, at present, right now till date, we have only two parties. One, the Congress, the other, the present BJP. There is no other national parties. The communist parties have already left away. They have left away and they have lost ground. They have already left on the national level, except Kerala. Now only two parties are on the national level. On third, you see always speculation that there is a third front coming, the regional parties joining. Such things, see, always we don't encourage such sort of thing. That is the reason we started giving space even to other political parties who give a befitting reply to the ruling party. Because after seeing the adamant behavior of ruling party, not only me, even the routine Aam Aadmi who is literally on the roads, they also do the same strategy. Because if everybody expects a victory, ultimately the beneficiary is going to be the ruling party, because the anti-incumbency gets splitted according to the basic political calculations.
Right. So this is a kind of spirit of sacrifice at times for.
Yes, let me be frank and honest also. Yes, even the central leadership is doing the same. and we are doing the same, and we are obeying the same also, because let us not be too greedy also all the times. Greediness always is going to be a self blunder, according to what I believe, according to what the party also believes.
Right, really wonderful, wonderfully explained. I really appreciate the thoughts. At times we have to allow others to win for the betterment of the society. That's really appreciable.